hobby family? It is your boy K-Dub. This is K-Dub's High Five. 5 rapid-fire questions with your favorite hobby, plural, favorites, broadcasting live from Sonoma, California. My friends, these are the owners of the California Roadshow, the hottest card shop to hit the block in a minute. My good friend Justin and Ryan Channels, Justin_Channels, Ryan_Channels on Twitter. How are you guys doing, bros?
Dude, we are doing excellent. Yeah, we're doing very good. This last week has been one of the craziest weeks, if not like I would say most like emotionally like draining weeks of our lives, but like also very rewarding. Opening a card shop is one thing. Opening a card shop after saying you were going to open one 18 months ago is a whole nother story. And so after all, like dealing with all that and then just the patience that went into it and the amount of support and everything, like it was just such a fulfilling last couple of days. And then to see the response from the community as well, like the local community, people that aren't on Twitter, aren't on Instagram, and say, oh, we've seen your sign. We've been waiting all this time. Like, we're so excited. And like, it's been a dream come true. And it's been really cool.
Well, awesome, guys. Well, my sincere congratulations. I know, like you said, it's been a long time coming, but super excited for you guys and really excited for this High Five because it's my first ever repeat guest, but also first time I've had a grand opening card shop first interview here. So how it works, you guys know I got 5 questions, all hobby related. We're going to focus around the card shop, but are you guys ready to take on the High Five again?
I'm ready.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Hey, Justin, the first one I'm going to throw to you here. Let's talk about this journey of opening the California Roadshow. Kind of what's the process been like for you as far as opening your own card shop? How did you come to the decision to do it? And then kind of what was the process like in bringing it to this last week when you guys opened?
Wow. Okay. That's a great question. There's a couple layers to that. We'll start with the decision to do it. That's a great question. I don't think we've been asked that one yet. The decision to do it, I mean, Ryan and I, we've always wanted to open a card shop. It was always a dream of ours, like in the back of our minds and stuff. We grew up going to card shops, had jobs in college at a card shop in Arizona. Shout out Showtime Cards. But, and then we got really busy on Twitter and Instagram and all that during the early years of college and started buying and selling cards and got pretty good at it, familiar with the hobby and, the followers and all that, getting to know everybody much like yourself and Jimmy and the Roadshow team and all that. I had just graduated USF in 2020 with my master's degree. So I was heading off to work at a museum. Ryan had just graduated with his wine degree. He was working for Duckhorn and, this thing kind of came together where we were doing so much with cards, like cards were then consuming the other time we were supposed to be using on other stuff. People started to notice, and we actually got offers from people like investment wise. People were saying, hey, if I give you X amount of dollars, can you invest it in a portfolio for me? Or are there, we got approached to kind of like Shark Tank here locally. Somebody said, if I finance a shop, can we split equity? And then, you guys run it and all this stuff. And we had been doing a podcast called Cardboard with Jimmy as one of the members of the roundtable there at the time. And Ryan was the first one to reach out. He goes, hey, we have a lot of questions. We knew about the cards, but we didn't know about the relationships, the panini, the tops, the getting the wax, getting supplies, how do you, all these questions on what it would really take to do this. And Jimmy had just finished Kentucky Roadshow. So Ryan says, why don't we reach out to Jimmy? Yeah, love the show. And so Ryan reaches out to Jimmy and says, hey, my brother and I, we have some offers here. And, we love been getting to know you lately and all this stuff. And we're just kind of curious, what would this take? And Jimmy says, those are great questions. I don't like questions like that over the internet. Let's do it in person. And he goes, come to my shop and we'll talk about it in person. We go, oh, that sounds fun. He goes, great. How about tomorrow? And it was within like 24 hours. We go, sure. Kind of just dropped everything and flew to Kentucky. And then, I think
it was a Thursday.
Yeah, something like that. Middle of the week, something
Thursday.
crazy.
He's like, are you guys free? I'm like, yeah, let's go. we went there and
go ahead.
I was working. Sorry, I don't mean to.
No, please.
I was working at home for the time, so I don't know if you.
I was in the interview process.
Yeah, you were
for
in the interview
jobs.
process. So I was working from home. He was in the interview process. I was like, dude, let's go. And so we went.
Yeah.
We went the next day to Kentucky.
Wow.
And we sat down with Jimmy. Went to Suggins. I don't know if you ever been to the Kentucky Roadshow, but Suggins is a great restaurant. Right. Yeah, it's right next door. They do like catfish fingers and the whole thing. So we're sitting there just getting the the Kentucky treatment, and it was and he goes, all right, so how about instead of asking me your questions, I ask you questions, right? Okay. And he's like, what would it take to open a shop with you guys, like with me, and just kind of started the whole thing, and as they like to say, made us an offer we couldn't refuse.
Yeah.
And so, but no, it was very, very organic and very just it felt like the exact right place, the exact right time, and
in all of our lives, really. I mean, he couldn't have hit it more perfect. Like you said, he was just right there, just graduated. I was looking for jobs and stuff. The timing was impeccable, and I would go so far as to say, doing a card shop like this is exactly how I would want that process to go. If I could,
minus the permits,
minus the next part, but the initial, birth of it all, definitely that way.
For sure.
But then the process and all that, I don't think we've ever learned so much so fast about like how the city works and what it actually takes to get there. So that's when they hit us with the permits and all that. But 18 months later, here we are, and we're finally open.
Well, let's rock it, man. California Roadshow, CA Roadshow. I know it's on Twitter. Are you guys on Instagram, YouTube as well, right?
Yes. Yeah, Instagram is Cali Roadshow Shop, and then YouTube, I think, is just California Roadshow.
California Roadshow. Beautiful. All right, we'll make sure to plug all of those in the description of this video so you guys can go out there and follow. But I want to throw this one to Ryan, the next one, because you already kind of brought up Jimmy, and I know obviously he's been a key player in this. But when you think about like opening your own card shop, like who would you credit as some of the influences? I'm sure Jimmy's going to get mentioned, but is there other names and people that you can credit as far as people who inspired you or influenced you to make this decision to go into a business with your brother, opening a sports card shop?
Oh, definitely. There's a couple people, honestly, like first one, this is like an obvious one, is Steph Curry. Just collecting his cards and everything, and like the passion that was involved with that, and the people I met through that, like just it was one of them. Like just the hobby was so fun for me, and something I was just, I want to do this for the rest of my life, whether it's collect Steph Curry cards exclusive, like just that. But like if I could take this to the next level, like that would be a huge thing. And so obviously, like they always say, oh, look at Steph Curry, so inspirational, but he really is. And like, so
yeah.
When you see a man like that achieving everything that he ever dreamed of, it's like, why can't I? And so
sure,
that I would say, my boss at my last job, Duckhorn, I would always talk to her about cards, and she's like, yeah, but if you ever want to do something like that, you have my full support. Like, and so it was always really, really nice. This guy's a huge influence. We've been doing this for we always like to say we have 20 years of combined experience in the industry, being 27. So, but because we've been doing it for 10 years, and so
absolutely,
together we make a really good team. We call him, he's the heartbreaker. I'm the deal maker, right?
Yeah.
So it's we make a good team, and we always have each other's backs, and it's I wouldn't want to do I would do this without him, but it wouldn't be nearly as fun, I would say.
So, that's probably the thing for me too, was going around and seeing other shops as kids. I really I'm really happy about how much we went out and went to other shops and LCSs as kids. I mean, we were at the LCS every weekend, right?
Sure.
We made a point when we were in college as well, when we were getting into this. They said, let's go to every shop in the Bay Area. We went to like 19 different card shops.
Wow.
Just go talk to the owners, do this and that. When we're traveling the country or whatever, make a stop at a shop,
Yeah.
One of the big ones too, I'd say an influence for me is Mitch. Mitch at the bullpen. Mitch Gutenberg as well.
Okay.
Really, really helpful. Always just, having great conversations with us. I remember even before Roadshow, just questions we would have for him, just every single time, just as much as he could give, he would give. So shout out to the bullpen.
The bullpen in Los Angeles has always been one of our favorite shops. I had an allergy attack one time. Like I got to the store, we were just like hanging out, and then I started like breaking out in hives, and like Mitch is like, oh, I've got Benadryl, I've got like a cold towel, I've got like all this stuff, and he's like, don't worry about it at all. And this is like during pandemic time too. I was like sneezing and stuff. He's like, no, don't worry. Like I'm here to take care of you. Like that's my job. It's like, my job's not to sell you cards. My job's to be your friend. And so it's just like that. Like he was always so helpful and so insightful. And that guy's got more stories than I think anyone I've ever met. So
yeah. Lastly, I want to mention our dad. As well. Yeah. Dad played a big role in this, I guess, just growing up with collectibles and stuff. You could always tell that he never knew quite what we were doing, but he's always been curious. He's always taken the time to look at the cards, as even his kids from Pokemon cards, he would always look and listen, right? He would always pay attention and support that, which I really look back fondly on.
Our dad is one of those guys. He doesn't necessarily tell you how much he loves you all the time, but he will sure as hell show you. And so we've been passionate about sports and things. So it's like, he'll take us to the games. He'll wait for us to get autographs. He'll stay he'll go early, he'll stay after, and it's like, it may not be his favorite thing in the world, but he knows how much it means to us. And
he's not saying anything. He's not participating. He's just standing back. And then when we're done, he goes, did you guys have fun? And then that was like, just, I want to give that same energy, when just to support other people and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely our dad.
That's the definition of a dad right there, man. Allowing your kids to have their passions, and they become your passions, but you're more passionate about your kids being passionate about something. So
100%.
Beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Wait, these guys are checking out card shops as well. So if you're watching this and you got a card shop in your hometown, shout them out in the comments.
Yes.
Go
support them. Go see them.
Go support them, man. Let's show some love to those local card shops. As your community, it sounds like in Sonoma is really showing support to the road shows. So awesome stuff. I know Jimmy Mahan is a huge influence, and we want to shout him out. But it's really cool to hear you guys speak about the other influences that are out there for you guys as well in opening this shop. So awesome stuff. All right, let's get to the main question that people love to hear. But I want to focus on the shop. Okay, I've high-fived both you guys, so I know kind of your grail pieces. But when you think about the California Roadshow, what would be that grail piece, that grail item that if it walked in the store, you were like, this is what we need. This is the definition of a grail card for the shop. What would it be and why?
Oh, man.
You want both?
Yeah, sure. Each yours. What do you think? What would be the card that would kind of be a defining card for the shop, you think?
So can I bend the rules a little bit and maybe not a card?
Absolutely. Sure.
All right.
There's no rules on high five. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's no rules.
We always bending rules.
Yeah. There's something. I actually had this conversation with myself before the shop opened, and I said, you know what? And you ever watch Pawn Stars when they had that old intro? They would say, you never know what's going to walk through that door.
Yes. Let's go there. Yes.
That's it. So my thing was, you never know what's going to walk through the door, and I always thought, man, something either game worn or somebody's cousin, or like, oh, my friend of a friend had this. And I always thought something's going to walk in like a Kobe game worn jersey from Los Angeles, or something from the local towns, like the old Pacific Coast League or something.
The Joe Montana one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a perfect example. This actually happened this week.
Let's go.
This is great that he mentioned this. A guy, we won't mention any names, but he's here in Sonoma, and he comes in our first week, and he says that he has the pair of game-worn jerseys from Joe Montana's and Clark's The Catch Game.
Oh, no way.
Has both jerseys, and his something about his grandfather was in with the front office of the Niners, and he was he was like 14 years old when the game happened, and he got both jerseys off the back, just like taken right off after the Catch Game. And he's like, yeah, I have both. He's like, I want to show you guys, but I don't feel comfortable taking them out of my house. And so he said he wants to have us over sometime, glass of wine, and take us through the jerseys. And it's like that. So, but I think the most refreshing thing is it's like, as soon as you open a store in someone's community, all this stuff starts coming out of the woodwork. And it's amazing. But something game used like that would be an absolute dream. Yeah,
absolutely. Ryan, you concur, or you got?
I would concur. I mean, that was the one that came to my mind. But I think one of my grails is we have that court piece, and I'm sure you've seen it, the All-Star.
Blake Griffin autograph. Yeah.
Yeah. For those who don't know, we have a star piece from the game used court at the 2011 All-Star game at Staples Center. Blake Griffin was a slam dunk champ, so he signed it and wrote slam dunk champ. Steph Curry was a skills champion, so I want to have him in the shop, and I want him to sign the board and write skills champion on there. And so I think that would be one of like the coolest things if we can make that happen. So we'll see. We'll see if we can make it happen.
Well, we will tag Steph Curry in this video and just see what happens. You know what I'm saying? We'll just see what develops from that. So I mean, obviously anything like that, I mean, the stories you're going to hear of people randomly have this in their closet. I mean, I can't wait to hear them, man. And please make sure you're sharing those, whether that be on, YouTube or on Twitter or on Instagram. Like, share those stories, man, because that's what's really going to draw people in, to the shop, to go to the shop. So absolutely. All right. Well, you never know what's going to walk in the shop. I like that. The hobby box of hobby boxes. Okay. What random hobby box would just blow your mind if it walked in the door of the California Roadshow? And go, both of you guys.
Oh man. I think some like early National Treasures stuff.
Yeah.
Or early like first year flawless would be phenomenal. I'm partial to the Panini stuff because, like you said, we've been doing this for about 10 years. So our real glory days of doing it real seriously, 2014, 2015, stuff like that. So that's when all that we were watching breaks of the 2012, 13, 14, like Clay rookie year. Immaculate would be, something like that would be crazy. So yeah, I would say probably first year Immaculate.
I'd love to see one of those. Like they have the upper deck. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a box of like, it's either all Tiger Woods cards, all Wayne Gretzky cards, or it's like all Jordan cards, and there's like guaranteed autographs, and then there's like parallels and stuff. I can't remember.
Like an Exquisite or something? Is that what you're thinking?
It kind of looked like it came in like a pine box. Like, it kind of looked like a box of wine, and it was like
interesting.
Yeah, and like sometimes the box itself would be signed. Like those old upper deck stuff is just incredible to me.
That's a
definitely want one of those. I know Tiger from the Tiger Woods set. There was one that was like they have a booklet with like a Sunday red piece of shirt used, and it's signed. It's ridiculous. Okay. I would love to see one of those like full sets come in. That would probably be really cool.
So when it comes to hobby boxes in your shop, I mean, do you guys focus mainly on the new stuff? Or do you guys have the list as far as years go on your shelves? Like what do you mainly focus on when it comes to hobby boxes?
So to start, we're doing all like the current releases. We are going to be branching out for sure. I think to start, we just kind of started with the basic, like all of the recent releases, plus some of the more like, I would say I don't think we have a box in there that's older than 5 years. So
okay, right on. Well, I would highly recommend 90s basketball just for guys that need that 90s shine. So if that stuff starts walking in, I might show up at the California
upper deck.
I might get a ticket if I start seeing that on the show. So
yeah.
Oh, all right, man. Well, let's go into our last question here. Let's talk long term of the California Roadshow. Like, what are some of those big kind of goals that you guys have set for yourselves when it comes to owning your own card shop? I mean, you guys write the playbook for the shop. So what are some of those goals, some of those big time goals that you have for your shop in Sonoma?
Well, I've got a couple.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, either one. Yeah, go throw them out.
So first thing for me is I want to reiterate how special it is to do this in our hometown, and I can't get over the fact of like what that means to me is that how special it is. We get to do this in Sonoma, where we're raised, 15 minutes from our shops where we grew up, and to have that here. My goal is to be that community center. Yeah, I want to be that place that families come, on the weekends when they're driving through the city. They stop at the California Roadshow, or they make the trip up. I want to have that family environment to where come in, you hang out, and you have that. Now, like realistically, like setting a goal. I don't know what
I think I have a goal for you.
What's that?
California Roadshow, official sponsor of Sonoma Raceway.
that would be amazing.
That would be nuts.
Yeah. No, but it's kind of same off that. Yeah. Like get into the community. Yeah. We're at Sonoma Raceway. We're doing stuff with the local Little League team. We did sponsor Sonoma Little League, but to get in with that, help with food drives at the local, the supermarkets and stuff like that. Like it sounds weird, but like we're finally, at least in the beginning stages of being able to give back to the community that raised us, right? And that I don't take that responsibility or that opportunity lightly. I'm so honored to and happy about it. So that's my goal, is to take now what we have and you scale it in really be a beacon for the community of Napa and Sonoma.
Yeah, we got to open a California Roadshow 2 in Napa.
A 2.
One in, we each run one.
Yes.
I would reiterate what he said with the community things, but I would say one like kind of funny goal that I have.
Oh boy.
I have a pretty big background in wine, and I love wine. I when I say I love wine, people are like, oh, you love drinking wine. Like I love like the science.
Okay, I like where this is going. I like this.
I love like just. And so in college, I actually ran a tasting, a wine club.
Gotcha.
And so I would love to incorporate like wines and wax or something where like people can meet, drink wine, open and talk about cards like at the shop eventually. And
I love this.
Yeah, because like with my experience, like I know how to run a quite frankly, pretty successful wine club. And so it's like we can do a whole thing where it's like we have segments where we talk about the wine, then we talk about sports, and then just kind of hang out. Like I think it'd be really fun. And so I gotta figure out
that goes to community as well. The wine industry, the local people, and all that stuff.
Yeah, we could have like local wineries sponsor it too. We could do that, but like we just need to figure out a way with like legality and making sure that people don't drink too much.
Yeah.
And trying to figure out that. And since we don't have like an alcohol license, obviously like people can't technically pay for the wine itself. So maybe it would be like if you buy cards and the wine's included, like, I don't know. So I've been thinking honestly too much about this, but hopefully down the road, I can get the okay from the team to start doing that. I think it'd be, if done correctly and professionally, I think it could be a very fun and educational thing for the community and very interactive. And it would definitely fulfill that void in me that has been since I left the wine industry. I think it'd be fun to kind of combine the two of them again. So.
Absolutely. Well, it may be the only way you get husbands and wives.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
I know that if I was talking to my wife and I said, hey, look, they're having wine and cards, man, it would be game on. Like, let's go to the coffee shop. So I think that's a fantastic idea. And I really encourage you guys. And it sounds like that's where you're at, man. Think outside the box, there's so many things that have been done card shop wise, but it sounds like you guys are thinking outside the box, which I think is something really special. And it's something that you bring to the hobby and to the card shop world that others might not have yet. So keep it up, man. I love it. I love the ideas. I want to see a Little League team with California Roadshow on their chest, man. That would be so cool. So
just come to the shop on a random Wednesday and you'll see 20 Little Leaguers in there.
That's awesome, man. That's it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Quick story. This was today. This kid, Cooper, he came in once early in the morning and then again after lunch. And then his father, who I didn't know him yet, he came in this evening and he goes, yeah, was my son in here earlier? And his son has a broken arm. He goes, yeah, Cooper, with the broken arm. I go, oh, yeah, no, he was here twice today. And he's like, oh, man. I was like, but he's got, the kids coming in and then the parents right after and talking about, because I've gone to a bunch of Little League games and handed out packs, and we now have a sponsor, a big sign in the outfield. And
fantastic, man.
Just to have all that, like it directly translate to the kids and the families coming to the shop. It's great.
Well, man, guys, I couldn't be more excited for you. I'm so excited that you guys are finally here, and I'm so excited to see what comes about with the California Roadshow, man. I mean, you guys are the perfect personalities, and Jimmy, I mean, he is like the ultimate general manager, man. He picks the perfect people to do the jobs with the Roadshow, and I'm just excited to hear the stories and see what comes next. So if you're in Sonoma, man, get down to the California Roadshow and check them out. So
yeah, thank you. We would have you out too.
Yeah, I'm planning it, man. I'm planning it. Come on,
Yeah.
Kids, man. 3 kids is feeding 3 kids.
Bring them.
Well, that's the plan. That's the plan.
All right.
Oh, my boy would love it, man. All my boys would love it. Well, my 3-year-old would tear your place to pieces, but he would have a great time doing it. So
that's all right. Ryan here will clean it up.
I have a dog that we take to work every day too, so he tears it up anyways.
Perfect. Well, hey guys, we cleared the list. You know how we do it at the end. I got a double high five here. Throw the double high five. Boom. All right. check out the California Roadshow, all socials. I'll make sure to drop all of their social media information in the description. Also, Ryan_channels, Justin_channels on social medias as well. Shout out to our High Five endorsers, Buck City Breaks and Rack of the Day, Eric Hecker on Twitter. My friends, the motto is be the good. And dudes, you are doing the good. So please continue to do the good. Continue to be doing what you're doing, man. I love it. I love hearing you guys' story. And I'm excited to see what happens next with the California Roadshow. And I'm so excited that it's open, baby. Let's go.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Finally.
Congratulations
Perfect.
to you guys. Yeah.
All right,
Thank
man.
you so much.
Yeah,
We'll see you at the National.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. All right, friends. We'll see you guys next time on the next High Five.